Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Faith, and today I'll be checking out Candace Owens and George Farmer's love story, and this is the two version, and I'm super excited for this. If you're here to subscribe to this channel, please consider subscribing, give this video a massive thumbs up, comment, share, and all that good stuff. And without much ado, let's see what this video is all about.
I heard that you actually have an amazing love story. I have such an interesting how I met my husband story. It was totally a God thing. It really was. I was working for an organization called Turning Point at the time, and I bizarrely kept saying to Charlie, who's the founder of Turning Point, like, we should go to the UK. Long story short, I take his credit card and I book us to the UK, and we had an event that was set up for us to just kind of speak in front of a room full of reporters and people that were interested sort of in this conservative movement that was happening in America. And my husband now was in attendance, and I promise you, while I was on stage, we had locked eyes, and I was just like, wow, that guy's really cute. Like, you know, what's funny now is that at our engagement dinner, his best friend, who was the best man in our wedding, read the text messages that George sent to him while I was on stage, and he was like, that's my wife.
Stop.
Yeah.
You need to like.
Wow, you guys, that's a very interesting story, and I'll say that this was definitely love at first sight, and I'm so happy that they both pursue their interests after the whole conference or the whole meeting. This is something that happens out of the ordinary. It doesn't happen every day, but I'll say that this was God in action, because both Candace Owen and George Farmer could have had a reason to cancel out of that trip, but they still insisted on going because they didn't know that God had something big planned out for them. I love to hear love stories, and you guys, I love to hear people's love story, especially when it happens at random like this. This is a very beautiful one, and let's continue watching.
Both instantly knew he was heading to South Africa for New Year's. And it was just literally 18 days after we met. And he's like, do you have a moment to FaceTime? I said, yep. He was getting onto the plane. And he's like, I have something to ask you. I love you. Do you want to spend the rest of my... Yes. And we have never said anything, like nothing.
So he proposed to you over FaceTime?
Over FaceTime. And I said yes.
And she did this. We did this event. They did an event at the Royal Automobile Club in London in 2018, which was... for about 300, I would say 300 to 400 people, and I was in the audience, and I just, something about her demeanor just kind of instantly struck me. I mean, it was very unusual. I remember messaging a friend of mine, you know, a couple of days afterwards, just being like, there's something different about this girl, there's something different about...
Had you met her yet, or just seen her from stage?
We'd shaken hands, and that was it. And then the next night, I organized this dinner for a whole group of people. So it was her and Charlie as well, and they actually turned up 3 hours late because they were doing a podcast in the countryside. And so when they came back into town, it was kind of like 3 hour late, but we sort of got to know each other a little bit better. And then the next week I flew over to the States to see her speaking at a conference in Florida, and nothing had been said. Like there had been no romantic overtures at all at any of this point. It had all just been very kind of above board.
Wow, you guys, one thing I have to say is that both Candace and George took a very bold step. First of all, it takes a man who knows what he wants, even without knowing anything about the girl, but he still went ahead and proposed to her over on FaceTime. And Candace, knowing what she wants, also said yes, even without knowing anything about the guy too. This was something that only the brave can do, because I don't think I can do something like that, just meeting somebody for the first time and we've only shook hands and the person now asked me to marry him and I'll say yes. I don't think I can be bold enough to say yes to that person without knowing one or two things about the person. I'll say that this was really God in action, because if it was left to us, I guess both of them wouldn't have done what they did in this instance. Let me know your thoughts on this one. This is very, very interesting. I love this story so much, and oh my gosh, you guys, let's wrap this video up.
About politics and engaging in kind of philosophical conversations. And then at the end of December, we started, I called her a couple of times just to kind of chat, and again, you know, just had these long like prolonged conversations, which were mainly about politics and trying to understand what she wanted to do in life. And at the end of December, I was actually flying to South Africa at the time for New Year's, and I called her and I just said, listen, I know this is completely crazy and we've just met, but how do you feel about getting married to me?
Just real quick. I missed the bit where there was any sort of...
There was literally nothing romantic had been said up to this point.
Okay.
I mean, literally nothing.
So I missed nothing.
We hadn't gone on a date. We had not talked about marriage or the future or anything like that.
All right.
And and she said yes.
No.
Yeah.
Come on.
She did.
That didn't happen.
Yeah,
You're making it up.
It's all fiction. Fake news. No, it was.
This guy's not even Candace Owens' husband. I thought it was weird that he would refuse to go to Paris. Who is he? What a strange
some random
thing.
guy that just pulled off the street in Steubenville.
That's right. You called her up and said, well, "How would you feel about getting married?"
Yeah.
Were you nervous? Were you serious? Or were you partly expecting? Was this a pickup line?
No, I mean, no, I was 100% serious.
Wow, you guys, that was such an interesting one, and it's God all the way. That is all I have to say. Because when you allow God to choose your life partner, you can meet them at random places, like places that you will never think that you meet them. But when it goes time, it just happens out of the ordinary, out of the blues. I love this story because it's so beautiful, and I love the fact that they were both brave together and went for what they wanted. This was so good. I enjoyed every minute that it lasted. If you guys totally enjoyed watching, give this video a massive thumbs up, comment, share, and all that good stuff. And this is me officially signing out. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.